All right.
Everybody. Let's
So
get
I'm gonna
it.
let you go live and you do your thing.
Every Everybody come to YouTube. Everybody come to YouTube. Everybody on here
I
go to
will.
YouTube right now. All right, Patrice.
All
Every
right.
every
Later.
Everybody come to YouTube right now. Right now. Make sure you come to YouTube right now because I have somebody special backstage and he's about to come to the forefront on stage. So please come to YouTube and be able to ask questions. Uh, chime in, leave your comments and things of that nature. Definitely want you guys in here. Big D is already in here. And I'm glad you was able to chime in, Big D. This right here is a good one. Make sure y'all come in right now because hey, one thing I need to do is make sure I have theme music. I have to have theme music, man, for everybody that I have on the show. So everybody really likes music. Music is a form of frequency and vibrations, right? And everybody had a little jam that get them, in that zone, right? I definitely have to. You know what? I'm gonna have to do a part three with my brother right here that's coming to the stage because next time he come on, it's gonna be a well-rounded, introduction, to the stage because that theme music it does something. Every superhero got his theme music. So, with that being said, y'all need to come right now. Get off the live, come to YouTube live right now because right now I'm bringing in none other than Elijah Rubin, A.K.A. the Fire Damage King.
Salute. How y'all doing? What's going on, young king?
What's
How are
happening,
you?
King?
Man, excited to lock in with the family. You know what I'm saying? We got into part two, action popping. I was excited. After the last one, I got people hitting me up. I know people hitting you up. So let's give the people what they want.
So you got positive feedback from the last
Yes, sir.
live stream.
You know people in your audience like they know they like the real deal, like the uncut, and they take like immediate action. So I saw people applying some of the affirmations, some people working the guaranteed threes. I saw what you even shared. I'm like, okay, all right, I see you, Lil B. Let's get these people. Let's make sure we add them. Let's make some impact.
I definitely don't want this to be the last time. Like I was just saying before, I brought you on to the forefront, man, up to the forefront. On the stage. I definitely want to make sure I have some theme music, man. I definitely don't want this to be like somewhere we stop at. I want
Nah,
to make sure that we continue to add and provide value to individuals, the marketplace, and to the community in general. Man,
yes,
it's
sir.
blessing to be able to have you on here. Yesterday was my birthday. I actually turned 38.
Happy birthday, youngin.
I appreciate it, and that's exactly how I feel. And what one thing I want to talk about is what makes me feel as young as I feel. What makes me feel as young as I feel is that I decided to put myself on a health challenge myself for no apparent reason. And it kind of wasn't it kind of was a reason. My grandma had passed like 7 years ago, 7.5 years ago, and when she passed away, it was like she just died out the blue, right? So I wasn't understanding what she died. Why did she die? She didn't smoke, she didn't drink, she didn't do drugs and things like that, and she ended up getting hit with a bad form of cancer and died like real quick. And
Wow.
yeah, she was like really like my best friend,
Mm,
it hit me hard to where that I didn't understand why she had passed away and it didn't sit well with me. So I started doing research, trying to figure it out. And I started finding out that a lot of things in the food is actually what kills us. Uh, with that process, man, I just started learning so much more at a fast pace. And while I was learning these things, I was actually becoming conscious and aware of government type issues that have something to do with a lot of health, concerns. So it was one of those moments where I was going through a paradigm shift, and I didn't really understand what a paradigm shift was. And with that being said, it was like it hit me that everything was in the food, and I started immediately taking action. Like first things I had cut off was McDonald's and things like that was
You
one of
gotta kill the slop. You gotta kill the slop. Get the slop out of the life.
right. And I ain't mean just to name drop them like that, but I'm just being honest. That was one of the
Mhm.
that was
Yeah,
one of
fast
the,
food. If it costs 99 cents to feed you, it probably lost nutritional value at some point. You might want to value a little bit more. So yeah, it's been several years. Okay.
I don't know if you drink this water, but this is Aquapana, aka Loopy water. This is the best
Goofy
water.
water.
Yeah, this is the best water on the planet, man. So whew. So that was another thing, man. It even led me to drinking out of only glass bottles of water. Make sure I was drinking
Mhm.
high quality premium water also. So like it took me through a moment where now I haven't even brushed my teeth with faucet water in probably about 5 years or something like that because
Wow.
the water, if you don't do no research on your water, you wouldn't even understand where your water is coming from.
So it
Another
happened in Flint. So it happened in Flint, and people weren't talking about it till it's just too late. So no, I see it.
right. Another thing is when people go to the stores and get plastic bottles of water, you really don't know what you're drinking either until you turn the bottle around and you check out the ingredients on the bottle of water. Like if people don't understand, you can go buy a bottle of water out the store, and if you turn it around, it'll still have ingredients on the water bottle. So I started really taking a lot of knowledge of all that type of things, and I started watching whether I was drinking, because the water source, like if you look at it, it tells you where the water source come from or what water source the water come from. So I was doing research on all these bottles of water and figuring out a lot of these bottles of water that you were buying, the source was actually like a water source for certain cities. So it was basically tap water that come out your faucet, and that's really not healthy at all. And from there, as I got more conscious and aware of things, I had started growing my hair and things like that. Start paying attention to more of the changes that was going on around the world. Start noticing like the chemtrails in the sky, a lot of stuff people don't know about. So it would be certain times I wouldn't even want to come outside because they've been spraying like since like 3, 4 in the morning, things like that. So people really don't take an account of what they're seeing on a day-to-day basis when you look up and you see a grid pattern in the sky from airplanes, and you thinking that they're regular commercial airplanes, but they're not. They're actually designed to actually spray something in the air for whatever those reasons may be. So this is not one of those conspiracy theory shows, but I'm just breaking down to you what kind of got me to where I was at, because everything leading up to the wealth is the health and relationships. So you work on your health, and while you working on your health, you start forming and building these relationships, and then from now, the wealth will come, and whatever is wealth to you will be that wealth. So it's just been a complete transformation. Before I even became Loopy G, before I designed Loopy G, I was already pre doing it, and it was a process that was happening so fast, and I was just making fast decisions that I really didn't. I knew what I was doing, but I didn't understand what would actually transpire from it. So it was a weird time, man. Just learning about all the foods that people really shouldn't eat, why you shouldn't eat them, and then getting smacked in the face with why you shouldn't eat them by like solid proof. Um, People be surprised, if you watch the Animal Channel, you'll see why you're not supposed to eat certain foods and things like that. And a lot of things aren't talked about. And man, when I tell you when Mayweather fought, Mayweather and Pacquiao fought, that was when the Hurricane Harvey hit Houston. So that was like the last time that I had ate meat. Uh, all the stuff was in there. It was like a few hens, Cornish hens I had, because I had stopped eating chicken because chicken is so bland. So I started buying Cornish hens from the Whole Food Market by the case, and man, those were delicious at that moment. Yeah, cause I used to stuff them with herbs and oh man,
Cornish
all types
hens.
of stuff, man. Yeah, Cornish hens. So
You got some recipes over there? You got some recipes over there?
oh man, I'm the truth in the kitchen, man. I'm the truth.
Oh, we got the Loopy cookbook coming out for 2021.
And it don't look that far fetched. You know, my thing is I want to make sure I build some solid relationships with some high powered individuals, and then as I continue my journey on with what I'm doing with real estate, investing in things like that. You know, I want to do like how you do mastermind groups, but I actually go to people's houses and mess their kitchen up, and
Mm,
get that bag in the process, and then we all add and provide value.
that's good.
So I actually want to do me some personal chefing for like high end friends of mine. So
Nice.
that's a goal. That's a goal that's written in stone right there, man. I'm really looking forward to that. But man, when the hurricane hit, man, I just stopped eating meat. That same night before the fight came on, I watched What the Health and
Mm.
Food Inc. I watched both of those back to back.
Mess you
Uh,
up.
and one, the storm was hitting. I say, you know what? After this, I ain't eat no more meat. And I didn't eat no meat at all since. After all that stuff was eaten up, haven't ate no meat and haven't looked back, haven't thought about it, haven't thought about eating meat. And I instantly lost like 30 pounds, 30, 40 pounds, like quick. I used to drink cough syrup, right? So cough syrup out
I
here,
mean,
yeah, it's that lean, and
I'm muddy.
yeah. So what that do to you? It keeps you constipated and it messes up your bowels, to where that you can't have bowel movement, right? So you sitting with all this stuff that you ate in your body for days at a time.
Jeez.
So yeah, so that stuff right there, it keeps you constipated. You can't use the restroom, and you just getting fat. You getting fat and getting fat. And man, I lost all that weight in like a matter of months. I lost the weight so fast, man. I had to like kind of redo my wardrobe, a bunch of clothes that I had bought that I didn't really get to wear or never wore. Basically, I had to give a lot of stuff away and things like that. And one thing about the healthy part of it is that, man, I didn't lose any sleep. I started sleeping better. I didn't have acid reflux anymore. I didn't have heartburn no more. You know, the way I would use the bathroom was totally different. So from the health standpoint, when I went vegan, I understood why as soon as I went that route. Now with me going vegan, I also threw away all my old cooking material, right? Because it was
Wow.
clean. It was unclean because I was cooking animals in it. So I threw away all that stuff, all my non-stick stuff, threw away all the plastic stuff, and then what was done from there was getting cast iron, stainless steel, glass for all the dishes, and stayed away from using foil, aluminum, and stuff like that. So it was like a real process, man. And a lot of people won't understand until you do it. But once you go vegan, you'll understand that being vegan costs a whole lot more than eating regular what people would call regular food. It's a lot more expensive to go vegan and organic at the same time, and that's what I did. I did both. So
Wow.
I instantly stopped because I was already on the organic kick. So once I just stopped eating meat, I just went all the way organic, but with all fruits and vegetables, and I saw the difference money wise. It was a complete difference. So it went from spending 3 or 400, every let's say 3 weeks to a month at the Whole Food Market, from going vegan, going from there to vegan and spending 3 to 400 a week to week and a half just on fruits and vegetables alone.
Yeah, your health is worth it. Your health is worth it.
That let me know that being healthy is what it is, but being healthy costs.
Yeah.
Um,
Health is real wealth.
So right. So I've been seeing, you've been doing your working out, and getting on track with that. You know, I definitely want to touch on that some, and
Sure.
touch on that, and see what all you got to say about health being one of the
Sure.
main parts of starting to get to the point where you can build healthy relationships, to where you can start doing the healthy way of producing income to form wealth for yourself and your future.
Sure. No. I think that's a good segue point there. We talked a little bit last time about the guaranteed threes, and then just making sure that you are starting your day by being very intentional with your success, your health. You have to be extremely intentional with it, because at the end of the day, when you are looking at going where you're like, it's like going on a trip. And you can just hop in a car, start driving, but you don't know where you're going. If you're very clear, hey, I'm going to go here. Here's a benchmark. These are the tools I need. This is what I'm going to do. These are experiences I'm looking to have. Then it gets a lot easier to plan for it. By starting in the morning, doing the guaranteed threes, getting your mind right, getting your health right, breaking the sweat. More importantly, showing your discipline, doing something that you naturally don't want to do. I think that's a big part of this, is being able to increase your discomfort IQ. Most people don't work out. Most people don't work out because they're not really okay with feeling any form of discomfort. If it's discomfort, let me find some one way. Let me hack it. Let me go ahead and create a cheat sheet for it. When it comes to health, there's no substitution. No one's going to do these burpees for me. No one's doing the walking. If I'm eating chips late at night, that's going to show up for it. And so I think it's so important, especially now that we're getting, when you start heading through your 40s, your metabolism is slowing down, you're more receptible for other long-term heart disease, other things that it doesn't show directly, but over the course of time, it has a compound effect. And so by you starting right now, regardless of how old you are or how young you are, being intentional, hey, let me get my greens in, let me get some vegetables in, let me get some fresh, let me get my water, my 4 cups of water in at least a day. Let me try to break a sweat. Let my heart rate jump up. I don't care if it's jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, just get 20 minutes. Start with it. Go on a walk, ride a bike. These are some of the things that if you're willing to say, I am worth it, it's really just a vote saying that I'm going to be here long term. Think about Big Pun. Like I said, nobody in this circle got serious. Like, yo, you are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You're going to eat yourself to death, and no one's going to have the benefits of you. And so I don't want that happening. I know being able to be more intentional with it. I'm ready to really even step it up even more for 2021, because I've been off and on my late night snack, and then it's still a problem. But I'm calling myself out. I'm putting in the effort, and I like you guys all be a part of the journey. Anyone can help you guys with your journey. Hold me accountable to mine. Your boy's going to be shedding at least 25 pounds here by the end of the first quarter is the play.
Okay. So we was talking briefly about the master class that you had for Black Friday, that you did for Black Friday. Let's jump right into that.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about. Hey, y'all come to YouTube live right now. My YouTube channel right there. I have Elijah Rubin on here right now, aka the Fire Damage King. Y'all come on and join in. So yeah, let's talk about the master class that you have for Black Friday, and then let's jump right on into that.
Sure. So masterclass, like I said, we just want to do something to bring more awareness to the fire damage niche. Only 3% of investors even go after these fire damage deals. And so because it's such an untapped market, we want to bring more awareness. Yes, it's cool. You can make 3 checks on one deal. Yes, it's cool. No one's going after these, but a lot of people have a problem. How do I find these deals, Elijah? Loopy, how do I find these deals? Well, that's what we did. We wanted to give it a top level, easy to understand, quick to implement process to start targeting these unfound little hidden gem of deals. So we created a fire damage lead flow engine, so you can start organically building your own list, because you can't buy this list anywhere. So this is a way for people to be able to organically buy these lists, or curate your own list, And then you're able to use our trusted advisor approach. So you're not sound like a generic wholesaler. You're not just a money grubby, hungry investor in cash. You are showing that you're going to empathize with them. You're here to educate them, and you're here to empower them with more options. By you doing the 3 E's techniques that we teach you, you're going to be able to start being a trusted advisor where they invite you to the barbecue, where you get invited to the carne asadas, all right, versus you just be an investor. How much cash you want? Would you take it less? How many square feet? Why are you selling? We get to that later. And being able to connect with them, we show you that approach after we get your lead flow going in. And then you get some ideas of how to analyze these deals, how to find cash buyers that like to buy these deals, and how to get paid on deals that you don't even buy sometimes just by helping out the homeowner with the insurance money. So we took all that, which is in our 10-week program. There's a module that comes with like 8 hours of content, 9 modules. Well, we realized that everybody has the funds or the time to go through all that, and we didn't want that to be a barrier why people can hop in this niche and start closing more deals at a higher clip, more conservatively. And this is what the masterclass was about, in my top level way to start finding these opportunities. And this is what we saw so many. We had over 80 people hop in here. Got a lot of people already getting deals. People already are doing closing opportunities. It is good to see that somebody took a thought, took action, and now getting results that very few people are doing. And it's good to see that people are taking action. And because that's happening, this time next year, I expect to even have way more people in there, but still a blue ocean. Nobody's still doing these.
Right, right. So, with that being said, I have a friend of mine. She actually took the course. I believe like at the beginning of this year. She went and got the list. Now, the list. Hey, 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 my boy Kristen. What's happening, Chris? What's happening? Yeah, man. My girl got the list, and man, they gave it to her on a stack of papers. What's up with that, man? Do you know? Is that how you usually get it, on a stack of?
No, but that's a little bit of the problem with this niche, right? You can't just go and buy a list. You can't just go ahead and just go on list source and or prop streaming and start mailing out to them. That's the benefits of why I actually like this, because you have to take 2 or 3 steps. Put it like this: the average lead has a shelf life. All right. So if you do a probate deal, as soon as the executor gets named as executor of the estate, property is being sold. Divorce lead, all right? You follow up with them as soon as that 4 decree has been finalized by the courts, property sold. Pre-foreclosure, as soon as the auction there, property sold or is at the auction. So a lot of these different leads have a shorter lead source, a lead life. These niche lists, if you kind of go through the process we teach you, 2 things are going to happen. You're going to organically create a list that you're going to keep adding on to. And then what's going to happen next is that you're going to start seeing that even if somebody said no now, it takes about 9 months. It takes about 9 months for somebody to rebuild the property and move back into them and get a certificate of occupancy so they can move into it. Well, what happens here is if they say no now, wait until 4 months and they realize that the contractor ran off with the insurance bag. Wait until the insurance company chops down their insurance payout that they thought they were getting. Wait, what happens when they decide, you know what, I've been staying in this hotel for 7 months. I just want to sell. I don't want to rebuild. This is why the fortune's in a follow-up, and this is one of the most profitable niches, because your follow-up leads have a higher clip with less people competition to them, and their reason to change that motivation to sell can at any point in this 9 months time can increase. So that's what makes this niche so valuable. By you taking our fire damage lead flow engine process, it's going to make sure you don't have to just get a bunch of stack papers and try to figure out which one's which one. You're going to organically build this list. You're going to keep adding on to it, add on the new ones, and still follow up with the old ones.
Okay. So it's a whole process with this that you explain in your master class for fire damage properties.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when taking the master class from the fire damage king, I do want to ask you. So you say you have a whole search engine to where that like say for instance somebody out here in Houston need to go get the fire damage list, I won't have to go get those stack of papers, is what you're saying?
Correct. There's more technology ways that we show you how to curate this list, and even some of those that you're gonna get. Now, 70% of them are good, and you don't have to go and get a stack of lists, but 30% of them are off because you have to realize, let's say your neighbor sees a house on fire, they're calling the fire department like, hey, it's on a major cross streets of 6800 block and Bell. So they don't know. So they take that 6800 block and Bell, they put it on that stack of paper or even to us, and we get it. So that address is wrong, right? So 30% of these are going to be wrong addresses. So this is where the magic happens, right?
Yeah.
Average investor are just going to blow those off.
Yeah.
What we teach our students is to go in there, take a list of all those, go and drive them. Add them to your Drive for $1 day. Throw on your deal machine app. Shout out to David. All right. And then you go out there and you go to 6800 block. You're going to know which one caught on fire, right? There's going to be a tarp. There's going to be a fence. It's all turned and crispied up. By you getting the actual address, think about that. 95% of the competition, A, is not already going after fire damage. B, they're not going to take a list that they couldn't find and go and drive it and then find the right address and call it. So you are literally fishing in such a small pond that you don't have to be the nicest. You have to be the most skilled, best closer in the world. They get higher margin deals. Even if you don't make 2 to 3 checks on them, you still may make larger spreads because it's less competition.
Okay. I definitely like that right there. And the reason why I'm laughing and if you watching, I ain't gonna say your name because she my home girl, but man, she took your course, and I hope she's on here that way she can know that she need to take massive action.
Yes, sir.
She got the VAs to put all that information on the what's name, but she was calling me like, Loopy, what I do? It only have buy such and such and such. I said, that's how the data come. I said, girl, you got your work cut out for you, because I said that sounds like something you're gonna have to drive by to see that, and you got to get the address, because I didn't know data came like that. She was like, yeah, and it's a stack of papers. And I was like, wow. So how often should somebody pull the fire damage property? So let's say she took your course, it was earlier this year, and she got the fire damage properties. I guess they gave her an opportunity to say how far back she wanted them to go.
Yeah.
That's what she did. What are your suggestions on when you get this data, and how long before you need to go get another set of data, another set of that data?
So what we like to teach you guys is how to replenish it every month. Replenish it, but not go down to the city and try to get that stack. There's a way faster, easier route to take these different alerts and get them and curate your list. However, when you're starting out, in most states, there's a 2-year statute of limitation. 2-year statute of limitation, meaning you could go back up to 2 years, even if a homeowner got the check, cashed the check, rebuilt the property, you could go back and rework those insurance claims, because 80% of the time, the homeowners only get 80% of the money and they don't know it. All right, so you're able to go back to that and reopen those insurance claims. Sometimes the house wasn't finished built; they're willing to sell it. So I would recommend first starting out, go back up to 2 years to recapture all those opportunities that you can still work the insurance claims, as well as if they want to sell, and then do all the live ones. And every month, add on the live ones onto your list, and make sure you're setting up your follow-ups for the past ones. And now you're taking advantage of all the past ones, the current ones, and your follow-ups. Every month, just keep replenishing onto your list. Like I said, this is a larger, more profitable lead source that has a longer shelf life.
Okay, so not only so I want to ask you this right here. So okay, you want to basically keep recycling those leads. Am I correct from what you said?
Keep tapping them until they tell them to remove them.
Okay, and with that being said, your specialty is fire damage properties. How long have you on you really because you told me you deal with disasters, period. But
Mhm.
fire damage properties is your specialty. Um, is that all you focused on? All you focus on, or you still do like regular wholesale deals and stuff
Oh
too?
yeah. I mean, over the last 16 years, I've done 750 plus deals, over $250 million worth of transactions. So only 150 of those were fire damage. I've only been doing fire damage for like 5 years. I just stumbled into it. I
Okay.
realized it separates me from every other wholesaler. I could be in a room with Dean Graziosi, Cody, Sean Terry, Robert Kiyosaki, and although they're all bosses in their own right, I know I do something that none of them can do. I can do almost a lot of their deals, but they can't. They don't know how to make 2, 3 checks on one deal. A lot of the gurus, they send them to me, and I'm in Arizona, around the country, when they should send them to you guys in your market. So that's why by you separating yourself from every other wholesaler, you give yourself a big competitive advantage here.
So, for people want to know, do you have a relationship with insurance companies too?
Good question. Good question. So no, the insurance companies are not cool with this. So we're
Hell
the
no.
dangerous one. At some point, your boy might be making Tupac Machiavelli albums out here because once I really started dialing up here, they are not liking what I'm doing.
It's like real estate agents. It's like real estate agents don't like wholesalers.
They don't
So
like wholesalers. So if you have a friend who is an insurance agent, don't think he's going to start sending you a bunch of leads and that's going to be your plug. That is not the plug, because what's going to happen is they're saying the house is worth 100,000. I'm going to give you, Mr. Smith, 80,000. Well, Mr. Smith only knows to look at appraisal, and appraisal might be 100,000, but we know the cost to build approach might be 150,000. And so the homeowner has no idea what that cost to build approach. Why does that play a factor into this at all? But us as fire damage specialists, us as our public adjusters, they know the insurance company has to use that cost of build approach number, which might exceed the appraisal number. And so we can go in there and rewrite that scope of work that your friend who referred you, that lead, well, we are rewriting his scope of work. If an insurance agent scope of work gets rewritten too many times, they're getting fired. All right. So therefore, he ain't too happy. Insurance agents aren't the ones who would be cool with it. So you don't want to get them directly. If you can, cool. But the majority of them aren't going to like what you're doing, because they remember that the number one fiduciary responsibility of the insurance company is not to the policyholder, it's to the shareholders. It's about making a profit. That's why 80% of the time, the homeowners only get 80%. So if the lenders stop lending, if buyers stop buying, if sellers stop selling, the insurance company is always going to underpay these fire damage victims. And then because that natural greed means I can always help the homeowner get more insurance money for them than what they thought was possible, even if I don't even buy the property.
and what I was going to ask you, these people that you're talking about, when you're dealing with fire damage properties, they do have to have insurance to do the technique that you're talking about, right?
So correct. If you want to do the three check technique, they're going to have insurance on them. However, I just want to make sure I put that out. I'm glad you brought that up, Lupe. It's very important that you don't need to do the 3 checks technique on every deal. All right. Just the fact that you are going after fire damage deals alone. I don't care if it's just lots. If you ever see a house, house, they don't build subdivisions that way. All right. That means that house probably caught on fire. That means that lot that's been there for 3 months, 3 years, guess what? It's sitting there and nobody wanted to touch it because it's fire damage and most people don't know what to do with them. So by you going after fire damage deals, you're just giving yourself a competitive advantage that no one else is going after. Even if you can't make your 2, 3 checks, you're going to get a deal at a super discount because it's less people making offers on them.
So let me ask you this. So when you have a fire damage property, like you said, and they made and knocked it down, but it's still within that 2-year time frame, is there any type of way to still negotiate the three pay structure off of that if they didn't tore these people house down and things like that, and really didn't make sure them people get the right amount?
Yes, as long as it's in the 2-year statute of limitations and the homeowner didn't transfer title. So if my house got on fire and I sell it to you and you build it down, nope. The insurance company is going to use a weasel clause within the provision of the policy that states that we don't have to pay this out because you are no longer the beneficiary. You transfer title, therefore we get to keep this bread for our insurance or for our shareholders.
And when you reaching out to these people, what's your best form of contact when reaching out to these people, knowing that they kind of went through something? Do you still use the average cold call, text message, or whatever, just to reach out to them?
Yeah. So please, you guys remember, we're still wholesaling. We're still wholesaling. You just added this niche on top of what you're already doing. And instead of just taking the generic wholesale approach, you're going to use a trusted advisor approach. Okay. So you're setting up. So you're going to make the cold call. Cold call. You can text them if you want to, but remember, this is a tough situation. This is like the top two worst thing that can happen to a family owner. They need support. They need help, but they just don't know who to talk to. Think about it. A fire happens, you got the firefighters out there. You got the board up guys boarding up the windows. You got the fencing guy fencing up the property. You got public adjusters trying to work their insurance claim. You got restoration guys asking to restore the property. You got ambulance out there if somebody got hurt. That's 7 to 8 different people, all when you lost everything. So we teach our students, give it about 3 to 7 days before you reach out. 3 to 7 days before you reach out to the homeowner, because they need a couple of days to deal with the shell shock that their whole life just got turned upside down, and it's not going to get put back together too easy. Okay. Now, so once you wait a little bit of time, then you're reaching out to them, letting them know that, hey, 80% of the time you're only getting 80% of the money. Are you okay? Empathize. Remember, we teach you guys the 3 E's. Empathize. Are you okay? Did you get hurt? Did you lose any important documents, birth certificates, death certificates? Do you need to see a psychological counselor? Do you need a trauma support group?
So you ask them all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. As I'm going through this, I'm not asking about square footage. I'm not asking about year build. I'm not asking if there's a mortgage on the property, because people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. In this niche, the more you sincerely are looking to help them, the more you're going to make.
Okay. Oh man, that was definitely some heat right there. Hey, what's happening, Chris? Appreciate it.
Chris, Mr. Monroe, the Lou boss.
You know what? I really like that. I definitely like that. So your initial point of contact, you're not basically discussing the property from the jump. You basically saying, hey, what can I really do to assist you while you're trying to cope with this situation? And
yeah.
Do you even mention that you're calling them about the property first?
So yeah, you let them know, hey, I'm a fire damage specialist, or I'm an asset protection specialist. We help them save the largest asset. I'm aware that you also has an experience of a fire. 80% of the time, you're only getting 80% of the money. Are you okay? Did you lose anything? Now I'm not asking. So have you considered selling the house yet? Nah, we'll get to that. If you add value first, this is how I built a 16-year career before I even got into fire damage. Add value first. Legitimately look for, I don't care if I can give you a referral, a client, a bar, a podcast, a journal, an article. I want to leave people in a better position than I met them. So take that same type of concept, and you apply this by doing a trusted advisor approach. Empathize, educate, empower them. Once you do those 3 things, then we can talk about, all right, well, what did you want to do? Once we got a chance to find out they're fine, they're in a hotel, or maybe in a hotel, you want to let them know, like, hey, is there insurance or not insurance? There's a chance you might not be getting all your insurance. By us doing a forensic audit of your policy and the repair quote that they're saying, we're going to see if there's extra money that might be owed to you. If we don't find an extra penny, you don't pay us a dime for our time. So there's a no-cost proposition to make sure somebody is advocating for your best interest. Because right now, they don't know. They're thinking 35% of homeowners think they have to rebuild. They think they have to rebuild just so they can get their insurance money. And that's just not the facts. They don't have to wait 9 months and stay in a hotel the whole time. 22% of homeowners are staying in living quarters, meaning if you have a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property, they can't be leaving you in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo. And because your policy states that you have to be in like living locations. So that is what something you're able to do by you educating them, empower them. Now they're going to trust.
Yeah, yeah, man. Man, I like that approach. You telling them you're a fire damage specialist and you're asset protection. What you say, asset protection?
You use each one, whatever one you're more comfortable. Some people go fire damage specialist. Some people, I'm an asset protection specialist. Help them save their largest assets.
So, hey, deal machine, what's up, my people? I'm on live. We'll be on live Monday, but y'all come over here.
Come on over.
Me and
Let's let go.
me and Elise, we have a show every other Monday on the Deal Machine platform. So
Nice.
definitely a blessing to have that. So
Mhm.
with this particular niche right here, and you coming in as a asset protection uh
Specialist.
specialist that can actually help them, save their biggest asset. you know, um, you're not necessarily just going in for the wholesale deal to sell the property. Am I getting that correct?
No,
You're trying to help them, they
checks.
trying to get some money back.
Because what if they say, no, I don't want to sell? Great. I think you shouldn't sell. How about you keep your property? Let's get you the rest of the insurance money that's owed to you. Let me pair you with one of my restoration guys to make sure that you're not getting price gouge on your rehab. So now I'm referring one of my restoration guys who refers deals to me. Now I'm working insurance money, all without even, I'm not even gonna sign a purchase contract. I'm not even gonna buy the house. And I still have a chance to make two checks on something I'm not even gonna buy while adding value.
Now that would be the trick. How would you be able to seal your position with the homeowner to actually, potentially bring them some more money to the table?
Good question. And so that's why you have to take the master class. I lay out everything. I'm joking. I'm just joking with you. I'm joking. I give you the I give you the knowledge. Get him. No. So what you do? I had to get it. So what happens is this, right? So we have within the Tell Me program, within the Fire Damage course, we have all the contracts, the scripts, everything you're gonna need. We don't hold any of it back for you.
So that's still an agreement that goes with.
Correct, because you're going to sign a JV agreement with your restoration guy because you want to make sure whatever 15%, 10%, 20, whatever you guys agreed to, when you refer clients who do not want to sell to you, they do want to restore, you can refer your restoration guys so that we're able to get you set up. So we want to be able to get you set up so that we're able to refer somebody who's going to rebuild the property, who's going to make sure they're not being price gouged. Then with my public adjuster, I'm going to sign a JV agreement that he's going to agree to do a 50-50 split on anything he finds. Once I got my JV agreement signed, so there's no convenient amnesia, we're not doing no head nod contracts. But yeah, I said, yeah, no head nod contracts. We do everything in writing. Then I'll set them up with my public adjuster directly, with my restoration guy directly, and then they'll sign their own contract with the seller so that they're covered. My JV agreement's got us covered, and now I'm adding value. I'm connecting my resource and relationships together to make sure the homeowner is doing what they want to do. And you realize I'm the trusted advisor who's going to make sure everything is being handled. And if there's an issue, they're going to come to me as a point of contact. And that's how you start.
So the crazy thing is, when we first came on, we was actually speaking about health, relationships, and wealth. So you made sure the family was in good health. They was healthy. They was in a good place. Then you build some relationships, not only with her, but you have relationships with your contractor and your what it is, the appraisal,
Mm-hmm.
the appraisal guy and everything. Then from there, you generating wealth, by making sure the health and the relationship aspect was, solidified. And man, that sounds nice. It sounds very nice. So, you got me. You but, hey, I'm like, I just really wanted to know the basics of it because
Sure.
that would be a real question. Like, do you still do an agreement with them? But I see now that the agreement is basically with you and your. So when it comes to a real deal, then they get under contract along with everyone else.
Exactly. So if I'm going to purchase the property and there's insurance in there, so what's going to happen is I'm going to sign a purchase contract with me and the seller. However, depending on how long, depending on how so if it's here's a good rule of thumb too. If it's not over 30,000, you don't want to slow your deal up if you have a deal, because remember the homeowner's keeping half of it and you're splitting the other half, so you're only getting 25%, which is so cool because your adjuster's doing all the work, and but you can't close your deal until that insurance final check gets paid out. So if it's over 30,000, if it's between 30 to 50,000, it's going to take 3 to 5 months before everything finalizes on that. If it's over, if you're looking at 80 to 100,000 plus, which I've done $200,000 more in claims before, all right, it's going to take between 8 and 10 months, all right, so that you're not going to do it and close the escrow. So you need to be aware how much more insurance money might be on the table there, and then set your close the escrow that you don't close escrow until your adjuster recaptures that additional insurance money. And trust me, your seller is going to be cool. If he gets to make an extra $50,000, $80,000 that he didn't know was coming, that he was about to get got for, he'll wait it out for the close of escrow because that's more money on the table. Plus, the property is going to be liquidated within that time frame. So that's how you want to make sure you don't close escrow until you get clarity of when that insurance claim is going to be finalized, so that they can't use the weasel clause because you transferred title prior to.
Wow. This right here seems like one of those niches where you really protect yourself, but everybody else help you protect the deal also. The adjuster,
Mm-hmm.
the main person. So my boy Chris want to know, how do you find a trustworthy
Restoration company. Good question. That's a good question, Chris. So what you want to do, go on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, there's a lot of restoration companies on there, and within our fire damage course modules during the 10-week program, we walk you through this actual script just to talk to everybody else who are dealing with your insurance companies, everybody who's dealing with your restoration guys, and then so what ends up happening, you're able to pre-qualify and let them know, hey, if I refer somebody to you, can you handle the extra business? No, I can't handle extra. Okay, I guess you're not my guy. All right, yes, I can handle extra business. Great. How are you with communication? Are you good with communication? All right, do you have any problem signing a JV agreement that's going to be a 50-50 split on the ones I send you, or 15-85 split, whatever you guys want it to be? Discuss it up front. The simple fact, I mean, you have to think about, to them, they're not finding the client, they're not negotiating the client, they're not putting marketing dollars on the client. You're a free lead to them. So why not have somebody who's already in your niche but not competition for you refer you opportunities that they can't close? So I'll say 1 to 5 of them are going to be good. And you only need like 2 or 3 of them. You don't need 50 of these people.
Right, because you want a relationship between like a select couple people. That way you can make sure that they're on call and know that you're paying to get over there, do the walkthrough, because that's really basically what they're getting paid to do a walkthrough.
Essentially, yeah. Just to see what the numbers are, where they're at. And remember, you want to make sure it's a mutually referral-based relationship. So I'm going to refer people to you. Are you okay with it? Can you handle extra business? Are you professional? Are you okay with these splits? Great. In exchange of me sending you ones, when they do not want to restore the property, I want you to refer them to me, and I'll buy them and I'll pay you a consulting fee. And now you have a referral-based relationship from everybody who's already talking to your client already. Restoration guys, public adjusters, board-up companies, fencing companies, they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on PPC ads and running directly up to the properties. Let them spend their money and have them refer those opportunities that they do not get to sell their services. The average person in this industry, specifically the fire damage world, a little lazy. I got to be honest. The way we hustle in the wholesale world, we hustle. We do a follow-up, send you 2 touches, you know what I'm saying? They made me touch them 3 times, and then that lead is dead. But no, bring those over here. I had one public adjuster. She sent me a spreadsheet for a year worth of people that they talked to that they didn't either want businesses or they didn't have enough insurance or no insurance. She put them on a spreadsheet, sent it to me. I closed $130,000 out of that spreadsheet. All right, so you can build a lot of relationships from people who have just dead lead sitting because they don't know that you do what you do.
Mm. So building relationships with property adjusters is a solid relationship to have, to just come across leads that they would have no clue on how to actually do anything with. You actually
Yeah.
know, hey, I can provide a particular service to these people. Would you mind sharing some information? And then from there, you and I can actually, split some profits.
Yep. And just be upfront with them. Hey, I'm going to refer people to you, Mr. Public Adjuster. Can you use extra business? Start it off, can you use extra business? Meaning, I'm intending you to add value first. I'm not asking, can you send me anybody? I'm saying, I'm going to send you people. I'm going to put money in your pockets. Can you handle it? And if they can't answer that simple one up front, don't do business with them. Do business with people who respect the value you're bringing. All right, because nobody's going to value your skill set more than you. So you set the tone. And can you handle this extra business? Okay, and then are you able to follow up with clients? How is your communication? Make sure they're communicating. If they're spotty communication with you, take them 3-4 days to get back to text message, 5 days to reply back to email. If they're doing that with you and you're the guys who's bringing money to the table, what do you think they're going to treat your client? So look, pay attention to how people handle business. If they're not really attentive, they're not really locked in, there's plenty of them. You don't need 20 of them, you need two or three solid ones, and you're gonna be fine.
2 or 3 solid adjusters.
Public adjusters, board up companies, fencing companies. You get 2 or 3 in each of these niches. They are all servicing the same community. We're not in competition. We're comments helping the same people.
And okay, so you basically, have people that say, hey, I got somebody that may need an adjuster, or these may be leads or something like that wasn't really cool with what you were talking about. You'll send them their way, is what you're saying? Like leads.
Exactly. So somebody says, no, Elijah, I don't want to sell my house. I'm just going to keep it. Great. Let's go ahead and get you the rest of the insurance money that's owed to you, because 80% of the time, you're only getting 80% of money and you don't know it. Let me prove it to you. And then, okay, well, now I'm bringing in my public adjuster. Now, without me buying the house, I'm already referring a lead to him. He's going to do 50 hours worth of work. And if whatever he finds, I split it whatever he gets. So I'm bringing up a pre-sold client to the table that he doesn't spend marketing dollars to find, because they already trust me to refer my relationships to the table.
So in case with any disaster comes or hit in just about anywhere, these people then probably started the remodeling process or anything. You still can hit them up. Hey, are you interested in selling this property? And if they say no, then hey, did you file your insurance claim for this property already? I may can be able to help you and assist you with making sure you get majority of your funds back. If you haven't received majority of your funds, most likely there's money that was left on the table that you have no clue about.
100%.
So
Got it.
was that delivery good?
Oh, that's doable. That's doable. Yeah. At the end of the day, you're tapping into a new profit sector that doesn't exist in any other niche. You can't say, hey, that short sale you're working out, there's less over money. Hey, that foreclosure you're working on. Hey, that subject to deal you're working on. There's no extra profit sector to tap into. But when you tap into insurance money, we call it thin air money, because you just get to grab a little piece of it and sprinkle it on your deal.
Because the main thing is, if they say what make you think that, I could be like, hey, there's proven case study that, hey, only 80% of homeowners that have insurance only get 80% of their money, when filing a claim. And what I do is, I'm a protection asset specialist. That way, I can help you protect your biggest asset, if that's something you're open to hearing more about.
Right. And if I'm wrong, it won't cost you anything. Let's
Yeah.
dot the i's, cross the t's. If I'm right, that's gonna be $200,000 more possibly for you. If I'm wrong, at least you know you guys did the right job and it costs you nothing. And if anything happens for the future, now you have a relationship to call.
And with that being said, this really doesn't have a price range limit. You know how you can only wholesale, certain houses and things like that, and then
Yeah.
when you start getting up into a certain price range, stuff get a little, foggy. But with this
Mm-hmm.
right here, if you're saying that you can make 200 some $1,000s off a house, that means that house has to been worth a lot more for you to be able to pull those type of moves. So just want to make sure that the people on here that are watching, hey, this is not something that has a price limit. This is about adding value and finding out, if they have pieces to the puzzle that were actually missing.
Yeah, it's taking by you saying a couple extra words on the same calls you're already dialing now can add a couple of extra zeros to your check. And once I figured that out, I'm like, I'm gonna be a multimillionaire. This is gonna be this without a doubt is a no brainer. But it sounds complicated, but it's really quite simple. Kind of like wholesaling. When you first hear like wholesaling, all right. Well, what about title? What about impounds? What about escrow fees? No, get some leads, call them, sign a contract, let the title company handle it, and you're knocking out. Yep, you're bartering for leads, you're bartering for opportunities, and you want them to make you their go-to relationship. You want them to make it's a trusted advisor approach all the way around. I'm a trusted advisor. Yeah, I do real estate investing. Yeah, I'm a solution engineer. I'm really a trusted advisor. And you bring me to the table, I'll make sure you walk away in a better position than I met you. When
Hey,
you feel that sincerity is good.
yeah, and if you feel like, not if you feel like, but if I can't produce, that those extras, then no harm, no foul.
It costs you nothing.
Cost you nothing.
And once they see that, and once you start letting other wholesalers know that you do these, I'm telling you, I got like 9 deals over the weekend sent to me because nobody else is doing these. And where Fire Damage Profits on Facebook is the only fire damage investment Facebook group on Facebook. That's it. There's no other fire damage. There's no place for you to go to. We're one of the leading fire damage experts in the country because nobody's in this lane. It's still a blue ocean. So if you feel like you're an early adapter, if you feel like you're tired of going after the same leads that everybody else is going after, hit me up. Go to firedamageprofits.com. You can book a call, hop on a call, see if our 10-week program is good for you. We still have the master class that we're offering out to certain people who don't want to go deep dive into it, but just want to, get the surface level. We got something for you as well. At the end of the day, I'm out here preaching the fire damage gospel. I appreciate you, Lupe, giving me the opportunity to get part 2. We got to get part 3 in. We got to get a part 3 in together.
For sure. For sure. I know that you said you had some things that you had going on. You actually have another meeting to attend to.
Yeah.
Hate that I had to end it so quickly, but I definitely want to do more of these, and hopefully, if it permits itself, maybe we can kind of do like a small little series to where that you come on once a month or something like that, and we provide extreme value. I still want to tap into more of not only the fire damage, but I want to talk to you more about affirmations. I want to talk to you more about masterminding, and then I had a question, man, and I want to hit you with it. Then if it's gonna be too deep, just give me a cool answer. Then we can get on part 3. But I definitely want to know, is there a book on the way?
Yeah, we definitely the books coming in the future. I have wrote in 2. I'm co-authored in 2 other books. Co-authored in 2 other books. I have my book, Mastering the Art of the No. It's my ebook. It's just about helping people to take 6 no's and overcome the no's. My polite persistence have allowed me to close a lot of deals out here. So for those of you guys who want my ebook, all you have to do is just text Elijah to 59224. Fill a little survey, and you automatically get my ebook sent out to you. You text Elijah to 59224. You get my affirmations, and you get the survey.
You can comment or something.
Sure. Let me do that. Like text Elijah.
And while you're doing that, I want to ask you: any of this is this on audio or no?
Yes, I do have the audiobook version too. I do have the audiobook version. I did the audiobook, and this is just my way. I just saw a lot of people struggle with sales, struggle with overcame a no. They take 1 or 2 no's, and that stops them. And so I gave 6 ways to overcome no's. Just being able to overcome no's allows you to stay in the game long enough to get the yes. And so we want to give people just ways to get their mindset together. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. If you text that, you get my affirmations. You get access to my to the audio book as well. Yes, I do have a different book, and I'm going to do the audio book. I mean, the autobiography myself. 16 years, a lot of things that came, but that's still later on in 2021, 2022. I'm definitely really excited about bringing Jennifer to the forefront. She's a Latina we're a power couple that we do together. She being able to have somebody who's an integrator, somebody who can handle the system side, speaks Spanish, deals with other boss ladies, can handle the kingdom when I'm not there, and I can completely trust her. It's that's gonna be a big part of the book. I know that. I'm excited to bring her out. We're talking about doing a podcast together ourselves. So
Right.
we want to bring it. We got some things working up for 2021. We're excited about.
And that sounds absolutely amazing. I want to hear more of that. Hopefully, I can have you and her on at the same time, and that
Yes,
like
sir.
that'll be a cool and awesome blessing, man. Like this right here was a birthday gift, from you to me. You know what I'm saying? Just
Got you,
to
King.
be on here, I really do appreciate it. Like I really want to do a part three with you, and I want to do it. I want to do it, as soon as possible. This right here was amazing, man, and we couldn't really get more into what I really want to get into, but that's why I say, I definitely want to, put together more of these with you as soon as possible.
For
Um,
sure. For sure. Set something up.
super positive individual, and I'd really like to know some of the more things that you've overcome. Next time we talk,
Sure.
I want to talk about things you've overcame to be where you
Tremendous L's. Tremendous L's. Took
know.
them for sure. Let's talk about. It. Let's get into it because I think a lot of people learn from losses, and if you can learn the lesson from the losses, those lessons leads to future blessings. So I'm definitely down to share with those and help others for sure. I appreciate that.
Okay, so everybody, the great Elijah Rubin, he had to step away and tend to a few things. He had a few obligations as far as some meetings he had to take care of. So we definitely didn't want to have to cut this one short, but we right on time. We gave y'all some extreme value. Hopefully you guys tap in next time. I have Elijah like the fire damage king. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Everything's get better. Everything get better over time. So y'all be on the lookout. We definitely gonna make sure y'all see what he has available for not only the community and the marketplace, but for you individuals that are trying to make that change, that are trying to step it up and be as positive as you can be. This is the go-to guy that'll help, put that thought process in your brain to where that you get that aha moment, that light bulb go off. And then from there, he'll have some things for you that you can start going over, looking over to provide and take action on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, sir. So once again, I absolutely appreciate you. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, everybody, for locking in. Sharing some time with me, Loopy. Thank you again for locking in with your boy, giving me this opportunity to share. As I like you to say, each one teach one, each one reach one. God, your way today. Be a blessing to someone, y'all.
Already.
Absolutely.
Peace, man. I'll talk to you, man. We'll chop it up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, King.
I appreciate you. All right, King. So everybody, that warms it up for the Level Up TV presents today. Uh, Hopefully y'all really enjoyed what took place. He dropped some game real quick, and it was super hot. You know, Definitely want y'all to understand that my first couple deals with fire damage properties, and I sold them how they were. Didn't even know to ask the right questions while building rapport. I just knew that from what I understood was that I knew somebody would buy those properties, and they were fixable. They were fixable. That's all I know. So I said, hey man, I'm gonna sell these properties, and that's what I did. Now looking at things from a different perspective, I'm gonna approach these differently now, and definitely want y'all to do the same. Do not pass up these deals. Definitely have to talk to my home girl. Really want to call her right now, but I'll call her tomorrow and talk to her about the fire damage list that she pulled, because it's very important that she know the information that she gathered, was some fire information, and the information that she gathered could actually lead her to her first deals, because nobody are going they're not going after these properties, unless these people are seeing them with their own two eyes. And depending on the type of damage the properties have, people are basically passing these deals up. So I'm definitely going to have a talk with her This right here was an eye-opening moment. The last time I talked with Elijah, it was an eye-opening moment, and he provided extreme value for those that don't know. Uh, like being able to tell these people that, hey, you're missing out, on some money, and there is a way that I can service you and get you some of that money back. That's providing extreme value without even talking about purchasing the house at that moment. So I'm definitely looking forward to adding more of that into my business model. It only makes sense because I've sold quite a few fire damage properties. I actually sold a fire damage property, and it was in horrible shape, but it was still sold. And long story short, the old owner got the house tore down out of spite, and it was a bad situation. And hopefully, you know, I'll make that right, in the long run. And it really wasn't my fault, but I take full responsibility for it anyway because I actually sold that property to the seller. So, I definitely want y'all to know that this conversation was a great topic. I wanted to speak with Mr. Elijah more about affirmations, and not only affirmations but masterminding, because he has become, like, he's a fire damage specialist. He has become like an affirmation specialist and a mastermind specialist. And once you start tapping in to those identities, that's when you start seeing the magic happens, as they say. And I gotta have him on for a part 3 ASAP, because this guy has a lot of knowledge, and that's not the only reason why I would like for him to be on here. Is the vibrations and the positivity that flows with this guy is off the charts. So with that being said, everybody out there, be productive, not destructive. Be proactive, not reactive. Be an attraction, not a distraction. Words from the wise. This is your boy, living legend, Loopy G. Peace.